YouTube, it's Andriy and you're watching Millennial Banker. So, got a question today from a client. Hey, Andre, I need to send money to a different country and I need to do it quick. What do I do? What are my options? And what does it cost? So, I have the answer. 3 questions. I got one answer. Wire transfer. The easiest way and really best way to send money securely to a different country. So international wire transfers, some banks probably, fee of maybe $20 to $30 starting. They may charge also a percentage to the amount that you're sending. Some banks have a flat fee, let's say $40, $50. So I would say it would cost you at least $50, $60 to send a wire. A lot of times now with banks and credit unions, you could do it online as long as you have, very important, please listen, you're going to need the SWIFT code. SWIFT code is the international bank code for that particular bank in a different country when you're sending money to. Also, if you want to receive money from a different country, your bank, your credit union also has its own SWIFT code that you would need to give. Very similar to routing number, but the routing number, which is the number on the bottom of your check, on your checks, that's the domestic account number that you, or routing number that you actually give for wires. But you're going to need the SWIFT code, the IBAN number. So the IBAN number is also the international full account number for that particular country in that specific account. So the other thing that you're going to need is the address of that bank. Now, SWIFT code, let's go back to that. So there are let's say Europe or in Asia, there are banks, let's say national banks that have a lot of branches out there. They'll have one main SWIFT code, but then for each location, each kind of city, location, branch, they'll break it down by, and each of those centers will have a separate, longer SWIFT code consisting of letters and then some numbers at the end. So you're going to need to get the exact one. Also, contact phone number for the bank address, who you are sending it to. Is it a business or a person? So either the business name, and it has to be exact. Even punctuation. So if it's ABC Company Inc. You better make sure that that's what you provide to that bank when you're going in and sending that wire. And regardless if it's $500, $1,000, $100,000, $1 million, or millions, all that information has to precisely match. Now, what happens once you walk into the bank? You provide the person who you're sending the money to their name, their SWIFT code, the bank name, and the IBAN number. That bank's wire department are going to review to make sure the information is correct. That takes probably a couple of hours for normal banks. If you have a credit union or maybe a very small kind of community bank that maybe uses an intermediary bank, which means the bank will send the money to that bank electronically, and then that bank will actually send the money internationally to the other bank in proposed country. So all this normally takes 2 bank business days plus the time difference. And that's the fastest way to send money internationally or receive money internationally. So to also send money in US currency, or you can ask your bank or your credit union to exchange the money and then send it directly with that particular foreign currency. So if it's Japan, it's the yen. If it's Europe, it's the euro dollar, right? So it's all going to depend on the person that's receiving or the company. They're going to tell you if they want because some accounts overseas are dollar denominated, meaning in US dollars, or they're in a foreign currency, and sometimes there's a little bit of a difference between if we exchange the money here in the US and then send a foreign currency, or if we send US dollar directly there and they exchange it. So all this communicate with the person that's receiving the money to the person that's to your bank that's sending it. So you could even ask and call ahead. Hey, I want to send, I need to send $5,000 to Germany, and they want to receive euros. How much is it going to cost me here to exchange in dollars? And then you would call over there and say, hey, I can send this much in euros. This is what it's going to cost me, or I can just send it directly there. And ask, right? I mean, a lot of times there's hidden fees with banks, and you want to be always upfront and clear, and there's nothing wrong with asking. If you walk in, you say, this is what I need to do, or if you call and say, hey, need to send a wire, need some help, I've never done this before, can you please walk me through it? So with that, that's how you send money internationally. Wire transfer, you need a SWIFT code, IBAN number, and then the contact information of the people receiving the money. Thank you, and I'll see you.